I want to talk about this really quickly, which is, as many of you I'm sure have seen, South Park doing an episode on Trump.
The properties owned by Paramount is the cable channel Comedy Central. And one of the most valuable parts of that channel is the show South Park. In fact, just yesterday, Paramount locked in a $1.5 billion deal with the creators of South Park to
$1.5 billion
be the
deal.
show's exclusive streaming home. Last night, the first episode of South Park's 27th season aired. And the thing about South Park is that their episodes are produced in advance, but only like a week in advance. So this one incorporated a lot of current events.
It's one of the primary reasons why South Park is so profitable. It's because the team is relatively small and they don't really have a lot to do with animation. All of the effort and work is put into like the writing.
I'm not in the mood right now. Another random commented on my Instagram that you're on the Epstein list.
The Epstein list? Are we still talking about that?
Well, are you on the list or not? It's weird that whenever it comes up, you just tell everyone to relax.
I'm not telling everyone to relax. Relax, guys!
It gets worse. The plot of the episode, short version, is that Trump has sued the town and a settlement is reached. And part of that settlement, the town has to produce pro-Trump TV ads. And, well, viewer discretion is advised.
Who walked through the desert for you? Who survived the wilderness and gave the ultimate sacrifice? When things heat up, who will deliver us from temptation? Donald J. Trump. No matter how hot it gets, he's not afraid to fight for
So I have to
America.
move it on the screen just to be sure. Okay,
The ad
okay,
keeps
we're good.
going like that.
We're good. They didn't show any cheek or anything.
The clothes keep coming off, so we've decided to tastefully pixelate from here on. The White House
I'm
obviously
scared.
was not pleased with the episode. They issued a statement saying the show Paramount just dished out
I mean, this is on
$1.5 billion.
So, like, there's a good chance that they censor it themselves. Oh, it's very censored. Okay, it's like super duper censored. Okay, we're good.
For, quote, hasn't been relevant for over 20 years, is hanging on by a thread with uninspired ideas in a desperate attempt for attention. Sam Cedar's the host of the Majority Report, and he joins me now. I gotta say, Sam, when it gets bleak out there and when people are being cowards, it is a real shot in the arm to see the South Park people being like, absolutely not.
Totally. And I'll tell you, it's a real shame you didn't keep playing that video. I mean, I think the big thing about this is, and, you know, it's the case that they got what is classically known in showbiz as FU money just yesterday. But they're standing up to Trump and they're risking, you know, in many respects, we don't know what the context of their agreement is with Paramount. What they're doing is, you know, could be somewhat risky, and it's showing a lot more courage than we've seen from places like you mentioned, like Columbia or law firms or frankly, Paramount itself in trying to essentially appease Trump so that they get this FCC.
Dude, what fucking world are we living in? What the fuck is happening? Dude, some shit definitely went wrong in this timeline. Here was like the trailer.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. President, sir, the Prime Minister of Canada is here to see you.
Mr. President, why are you placing these new tariffs on Canada? What are you, some kind of dictator from the Middle East?
A dictator from the Middle East? Hey, relax, guy. I'm just your average Joe. Take a rest.
The people of Canada will not be devalued like this.
Hey, come on. You don't want me to bomb you like I did Iraq.
I thought you just bombed Iran.
Iraq. What the hell's the difference? Relax, guy. Hey, what the fuck is this, better?
This is the painting you asked for, sir.
Why is my dick so small?
But that's the size it is in...
Okay. So just to get to the point, Well, first I want to let Sam Cedar speak. Hold up.
Green light for this deal.
Yeah, the thing about this whole crooked deal is just how transparent the whole thing was. Like, they need the merge, they need the FCC merger. It's dangled. Like, again, there's both the cowardice, there's the bullying, but there's this kind of like gaslighting about the whole thing. This wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like with Columbia, like it's about anti-Semitism, or the FCC is actually like looking into real issues when everyone knows that it's nonsense. It's like there's something kind of sanity fraying about that, I find.
Well, there are moments where you start to realize, like, we're living in a nascent authoritarian state.
As a quick side note, by the way, I think we're finally going to be able to get legislation, like good legislation around AI. Between that South Park episode and LeBron James's legal team has issued cease and desist letters to people creating AI-generated videos depicting him as pregnant, leading to their Instagram accounts being banned. At least 3 Instagram accounts that have garnered millions of views on non-consensual AI videos of James have been deleted by Instagram. When asked by 404 Media whether they had received a cease and desist letter from James, Meta refused to comment. And on the one hand, I want to show it for your guys' knowledge and awareness, and so you guys can see. But on the other hand, I don't want to get a cease and desist for showing MPreg LeBron James. But TLDR, it's just an AI video of him pregnant, laying on like a stretcher, being wheeled, or like a gurney, being wheeled into an ambulance. And he's like, his jersey, is it called a jersey? I don't fucking know shit about sports, but you can see his exposed pregnant belly. And then he gives birth to like this small child that has a full beard. It's not a good video. Well, they don't show the birth giving scene. They just show him in the hospital, like pushing, but they don't show, like, he's just like laying there being like, oh, and that's the video. Like, I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going to be honest. We're going to get AI regulations because of the Go and because of lots of giant public figures, particularly men, by the way, deciding they've had enough with AI. So I never thought I would say this, but maybe MPreg is good after all. Because it seemingly doesn't work to like make famous female singers or artists or whatever pregnant. That doesn't work. So I think we just have to make the men pregnant. So I think we have to weaponize MPreg. Life finds a way. So anyways, all of that is to say, I can't believe we're finally benefiting from MPreg. I'm so happy. Yeah, sure, pretend you've always been against MPreg. I've always thought it's weird. I don't like MPreg. I don't like it. And I just like everything about it. Pregnancy as is makes me uncomfortable. It's like, it's so, I just think of that one scene in like Aliens Prometheus, where like she's sitting at the sitting on like that dope futuristic like medical bed, and she has to like get the alien out of her, but the machine is only set for men, so she has to like sit there and like fuck with it and whatever. So anyways, that's what I think of when I think of pregnancy. I'm like, ah, ah. Oh my god. It's big body horror for me. But apparently MPreg is praxis, dude. Okay, I'm not joking. I'm very serious. I think we're gonna get good AI legislation if we keep making famous men pregnant. I'm serious. I'm unbelievably serious. I'm very serious. Okay? JD Vance MPreg next. I can never think about JD Vance and not think about, oh, my lolly. Make JD Vance embrag birthing a couch. Dude, what the fuck? Oh. Oh my God. Anyways. Anyways. Yeah, and then there's the scene where he like literally gets in bed with Satan and then so on and so forth. And I'm just gonna say, okay, like, here's my opinion, but let me just say, I've never been a big South Park enjoyer. I've watched quite a few episodes of South Park, like, I don't know, like less than 10. I've never gotten really into South Park, okay? But the little that I've watched, okay, it does feel like the show is written by people who consider themselves centrists. It feels like, this might be a crazy comparison, it feels like the show was written by Brian from Family Guy. If that makes sense. You can see I watched a lot more Family Guy than I ever did South Park. I'm pretty sure they said that they were libertarians a while back. With that in mind, okay? With that in mind. Don't let the creators of South Park hear that. They'll be mad. I mean, being a streamer on the internet is just being ridiculed as a job. As a job, omega lol. Okay? A fucking, sure, tack on South Park too. I really don't care. It doesn't matter. So, unfortunately, from where we stand as leftists, centrists and libertarians all lean right. So they're definitely right-leaning. They just kind of strike me as like, I am going to lose my marbles. I think that my building is doing like fire alarm testing because all of yesterday this was happening. Okay, it's stopping. It's stopping. I forgot about your beeping and panicked in my house for a second. Sorry. I'm going to assume if today is anything like yesterday, it's going to go off for the rest of stream and the rest of today just to fuck with me personally. In which case I will be doing a lot of muting. So wish us luck. Wish all of us luck in these difficult times. Anyways. All right. Someone said these are their politics. Are these the guys that made South Park? These are names?
You're Friday night. What the hell? Nothing's on TV. I don't know.
It's a really fascinating thing. We've always talked about how, you know, we grew up sort of, I think we were both Python fans and we were both sort of punk rockers, you know, and we wanted to do a punk rock TV show. And when we were growing up, the way to be punk rock was to be really liberal, you know, because we grew up with Reagan in high school and all of that, you know, and then, but then we moved, the problem was we moved to LA and we did the, you know, and then the only way to be punk rock in LA is to be a Republican because it's the only way, you know, you're in a party, the only way is to be like, I think George Bush is awesome. Everyone's like, what? You know?
It's not being punk rock. That's just being a contrarian.
Just like, you know, and that really, I mean, it's amazing. And when we did Team America.
I've seen Trey do that before, too.
Yeah.
You mean go into a party and say, just said it.
I think he's great.
Was in Malibu and he just said, I love George Bush and I love my gun. And this lady just face just melted. Her
face melted off.
It is like, we've got this, we got this reputation. There was this book that came out called South Park Conservatives,
right?
Where, and it was a label, I think, originally.
You know what? Watching this interview, this is a very good description of South Park. South Park is just like Rage Bait the show.
Originally given by Andrew Sullivan to the show, and I think there is a little bit of like libertarianism.
Is he your #1 fan? There's some great quote about it.
Yeah, he's a big fan, and like he's written some really cool stuff about the show and Team America, the movie. But I think that some of, we did grow up in Colorado, which is kind of a Republican state, but it's more of a libertarian kind of like live and let live kind of attitude.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of that seeps through in the work. But I mean, we've taken so many different conservative ideals to task too, but we have just ripped on a couple of liberal ones, like Barbara Streisand and Rob Reiner, and all of a sudden, like, we're conservatives. And it's like, to live in LA, to live in California, those are the sacred cows. I mean, literally and figuratively. Rob Reiner, that was a bad joke. Oh, what? That was a terrible joke. But you know, I mean, it is true. Like Trey said, it's like, if we sit around in our writer's room and we all sit around and go, and what I think of our best stuff comes out is we try to personify this side of the argument and this side, and then we take a little funny way out.
Right.
And I'm just not interested in, Trey can vouch for this, I'm not interested in sitting around and agreeing with people. Right. And where we live is like the liberal part of the world. And not because I don't...
This is a crazy sentence that's about to leave my mouth. As someone who has talked to like the NIMBY liberals that are like, how could you ever vote for Trump? I voted for Kamala. I'm with her. Huh? Yeah, of course I voted for the prop that allows slavery for prisoners. They need something to do. Like, as someone who has spoken to those people, I get it. And it is really fun to piss those people off. It is really fun because they get really mad, okay? I'm not a big rage baiter, but with those people, it's hard to not want to rage bait liberals. It's really hard. Hi, Mayor Cat.
Groupthink, and you only get to some new truth by argument and by dissent. And it's like, some of it is just, we just play devil's advocate all the time. Yeah.
Here's what else you said. I am just sick of actors on CNN parroting what they read in the paper. I keep expecting Larry King to say, and therefore a word on Iraq, the Cookie Monster.
Yes.
Ooh, the fuck was that, Mayor Cat? Your cat's a freak, I know, right? Look at him. He's ready to sleep. He's like, okay, well, I guess I'll fall asleep here. I'm good. All right. But you are really heavy, Mayor Cat. Like, you're incredibly heavy. All right, moving on. Anywho. Okay, TLDR on this, just really quickly. I will say it is really funny also from where I'm standing also, seeing conservatives get mad because they thought South Park was a show based on being a conservative and nothing else. And so they've been reposting. I've seen it a lot on Twitter where they'll repost Cartman being transphobic. And it's like, I've watched so little of the show, and I know that anytime Cartman is doing something, that's just to tell you what you shouldn't do. Because that's the asshole character that nobody likes. Like, what? When you see him being an asshole, that's not the show saying that that's base behavior. It's like watching Always Sunny and being like, well, clearly, these 5 characters are the epitome of morals. He's the satire character. I mean, no, he's just like the fucking moron with no empathy, right? That's the whole character. That's the whole character. And he's not the voice of reason. The voice of reason is Red Hoodie? You can see. I was gonna say Kevin. I was like, Kevin is not one of the characters. Is it Kyle? I'm pretty sure Kyle is the what is it? Stop. Okay. Google asking me, do you want more specific ads? No. South Park. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kyle, okay, Green Hat is supposed to be the like the voice of reason character. And yeah, and Stan too. The two of those characters are supposed to be. You don't watch Cartman being an asshole and you're like, oh, clearly. See, Cartman is being a huge piece of shit, so I should be a huge piece of shit. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you doing? No, that's not the point of the show. That's not, like, I don't even like the show, and I'm capable of saying that that's not the point of the show. Stan is the voice of reason, Kyle's morality. Okay, sorry, I apologize. You're not getting the nuances correctly. I'm gonna be honest, chat. This is gonna be terrible, but not terrible, but pathetic. The one thing I will say, the primary reason why I can't watch South Park is because I missed out on the opportunity when I was younger, when fart and poop jokes were still kind of funny, and now as an adult trying to watch South Park, at least the older episodes where it's like, I'm not joking, it's like the fart and poop jokes go on for like a minute. Like the gag is really long, and I'm like, I get it. It's so funny. Cartman is pooping in public. Okay. More poop noises. It's like, please just come on, dude. Please move on. It's not funny. Please. H3 fans cannot relate to this comment. They cannot relate. South Park was good until season 9. I don't. I can't comment on when it was good, when it wasn't good. I can only comment on why I was into it or not into it, okay? So moving on. Yeah, the trans bathroom episode where Stan and Wendy were both making thoughtful points about the debate while Cartman was clearly just putting on a bow and saying he's transgender to get his own private bathroom. Yeah. And like people watch that. I saw that clip like a year ago circulating on Twitter and people being like, this South Park gets it. It's like, you're not supposed to empathize with Cartman. You're not supposed to watch South Park and be like, I'm just like him for real. That's not what's supposed to happen. I know, as someone who doesn't like the show, that's not the purpose of the show. For the love of God. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Yeah, the chili episode. Yeah. He literally killed someone's parents and fed them to him. He's like not the hero of any story. Yes, correct. Moving on. My father unfortunately thinks Stephen Colbert, while on the Colbert Report, was an actual conservative and thinks he's changed. Oh my God. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. Is your dad lobotomized? Oh my God. All right. Okay. Moving on. So it is, I'm not going to lie, I have been watching and enjoying conservatives balding about this like Trump South Park episode. Because it's like, I can't believe that they would do this. They're just a bunch of wokies. It's like, you guys are so fucking stupid. It's the premise of South Park has been rage bait for the longest time. They make fun of people on the left, they make fun of people on the right, and they're morally superior over everybody else because they don't fall into like the same, what would be the term? I'm looking for the exact word. I'm blanking. They don't fall into partisan bullshit. They just don't care. And they don't care to be associating with one group over another group. No, I think there's a more nuanced discussion to have about like I really think that all of those dudes are like, those are the type of people that I've queued in games with. And they're normal people. Like they're whatever. Like they're just kind of average whatever people. But unfortunately, they contribute to like the right becoming crazier and crazier and crazier, which would eventually only lead to them making fun of the right. What does this mean? Dude, the chatters today are like very ill. They're very ill. Oh my God. Seek help, chatters. Seek help. South Park fans are passionate. Oh no, I think these are just like average like denim chatters, or sorry, denim haters. But moving on. Yeah, I don't feel any. I used to dislike South Park, and then I kind of grew out of disliking it into like it's just something that kind of exists at this point. Like, meh. And there's not really like, it doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere, and it kind of feels like it's always going to be used for one. I don't want to say political agenda because that's not accurate, but it's going to be used to like criticize the other political side, right? The right is now saying that South Park isn't funny, but they love lady ballers. Dude, like, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. Stop. South Park is definitely funnier than lady ballers. That's not even close. Watching lady ballers is like, that's what the seventh circle of hell is. You could watch South Park. It's not like torture. Some of the worst opinions, or sorry, some of the shittier episodes, not that good, but there are some episodes that are okay. There are some episodes that are okay. In the couple that I've watched, I've laughed at one or two of the jokes. There was nothing in Lady Ballers that was funny. There was like nothing there. That was... Their funniest bit in years is letting right-wing grifters post clips for 2 years of Cartman getting mad that Mexicans are at the water park, get their whole base amped thinking South Park is a fart right show, and then dropping this. Getting syphilis is funnier than Lady Ballers. Literally, this stream is funnier than Lady Ballers, okay? And that's saying something. That is saying something, all right? So moving on. Moving on. I will say, I did see this tweet, and this was pretty funny. Airbud returns 2026. They should make Airbud a chocolate lab so we can finally have an outrage cycle so stupid the discourse literally kills people. Can you imagine if they made Airbud a chocolate lab? That would be so funny. People would be so malding, and they don't even know what they would be malding about. Oh, they made the dog woke. They made the dog woke. DI dog. I would be so funny. Please, please let this happen. Damn you. Fire alarm.